morning. Japan is no longer the world's second biggest economy. It's been edged out by China. For more on this story this morning, we partner with the FT to bring you Lex on Bloomberg, so you can get a sneak peek at the Financial Times flagship column a day early. Ben McLannahan joins us live from Hong Kong. Good morning or good evening to you.
Is it 3 or 2?
Ben, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, super, Ben. Of course, this news that has developed with China inching closer and now claiming that #2 spot and moving Japan down, certainly not an overnight story. This has been developing for years now.
Yeah, ever since Deng Xiaoping really took China by the neck and embraced these economic reforms 30 years ago, and ever since Japan's bubble imploded at the end of the 80s, and it's since suffered a chronic falling population. This conclusion that China would nudge ahead of Japan as the world's second largest economy, this has been obvious, and in fact did so in the fourth quarter last year, and in the first quarter this year, China was superseded again by Japan. But now this is 2 quarters out of the last 3 that China's been bigger. So this is where we're at.
All right. So, Ben, post-bubble, what can be done? What type of stimulus can be put in place, or will no stimulus work at this point?
Well, if you look at the composition of Japan's GDP data that was put out by the Cabinet Office today, it shows disappointing growth in almost every sector. Net exports are down, public investment is down quite considerably. And also, consumption, private consumption, is almost flat, suggesting that all 3 motors are sputtering. In terms of what to do next, the usual responses are 2. It's fiscal stimulus or it's monetary stimulus. And as far as fiscal stimulus is concerned, Japan really has virtually no room at all to do anything. It's one of the hallmarks of the Kan administration that he's being a disciplinarian with regard to that enormous public debt, which would take 18 years to pay off if the government just did nothing else but retire debt with its tax revenues.
So we have
as far as monetary stimulus goes,
Ben, I was just going to say we have a strong yen in conjunction with this feeble growth. To borrow your words, you said the motors are sputtering. So you're saying that they've actually come to terms with this period of stagnation?
That's right. Unlike other developed economies that are also drowning in debt, other rich economies, Japan just doesn't feel like an economy that is struggling, that has disappointing economic growth. If you just go there, it's a very peaceful, harmonious society. There was a survey out a couple of weeks ago by the oddly named Institute of Economics and Peace, which found that Japan, by a variety of metrics, measuring safety, immigration is one thorny one, is the #3 economy in the world, and only just behind New Zealand and Iceland. So by those metrics, Japan is doing fine.
Ben McLannahan, FT Lex writer, live for us from Hong Kong with a preview of the column. Ben, thanks so much.